from this, and now it looks like this. Hey guys, welcome back to another episode of Motorcycle Rewind, and today we're back with the $400 1975 Moto Guzzi 850T. And our plans for today are to take all these parts and put them on there. And along the way, we have to sort out all of this wiring. See, it has some of my personal favorites to where they cut the wires right at the connector, which was awesome. We are replacing this switch, and to help us out with all of this wiring mayhem is this big old wiring diagram. And guys, I know I've said this before, if you need a big wiring diagram, download a PDF, go to Walgreens, 15 bucks, you get it in an hour. And I can walk up and actually be in the wiring diagram. Now, for you young guys, that's not gonna be an issue. But one day you're gonna get old and this is gonna be an issue.
A few moments later.
Okay guys, so we've got the front bit of the wiring sorted from this, and now it looks like this. It's way cleaner. We've got the ignition switch mounted, so it actually works. Now, still turn it on, hit the push button, and we're good. Now I'm going to start working on the back half, but I really won't be able to finish the back half until I get the hoop on. So I pulled off the side covers so I could get back here. We're going to clean up all this really good. I think what I may do right now is clean up the frame really good, pull off my zip tie mock-up for the fender, and paint the frame really quick while we're here, and then get into maybe we'll put the hoop on and then get doing the rest. I don't know. So I think what we're going to do now is do the handlebars, pull off all this stuff, look to putting, I got to replace this lever because it's busted, the perch is busted, and then we'll look to start cleaning it up. Maybe we'll pull this apart so I can paint this, the top of the triple tree, and then we'll really start cleaning it up, and then we'll go from there. But that is way better than what it looked before. Yeah, well, the Dremel crapped out. Let's try it with the drill. I know a lot of people like to use steel wool. I think that the brass brush is just not as aggressive, but to each his own. You can even use just a brush to knock this off. I'll do some of the other side with, and I like to just spray a little WD-40 on it for lubrication. And then a little chrome polish after, and you're good. Again, this is the first pass. That's pretty good, if I don't say so myself, for just that. See, it was like this over here. Let me turn you down a little bit, make it a little. See, it was like that over there, and now we're good here. You see it's still rough in the middle. We haven't done anything there yet. So let's get on that other side. I'm just going to use the brass brush here. I'm just going to do it by hand. Well, that's perfectly usable. And this is just the first pass. We'll do some more after we, when I pull this triple tree apart, we'll actually hit it a little bit better. It's just surface rust, that's all we're pulling off. There's like a little pit right there. Not much pitting on these bars at all. That just makes a huge difference when you think about it.
Moments later.
Okay guys, here we are. We got the front end back together. It's looking way better. Cleaned it up while it was off. I painted the triple tree and put the first coat of paint on the fork ears. Put another coat of paint on tomorrow, and then we'll clean up everything. But we painted that. That's starting to look good. I've got the new controls on, and now I'm pulling these guys off the shelf. They've been hanging there for a while. Some new old stock stuff. So it's not the right grips for this, but they are a set of grips for this. So we're going to do this one. We'll do the other side, and then I'll get back to you in just a second. As you can see, it's made a little transformation so far. We went from this. We've got headlight mounted, headlight painted, front fork ears painted, triple tree painted, perch changed, our clutch lever. The handlebars cleaned. Again, look, it just looks so much cleaner up here. And then all the wiring, we sorted all the wiring up until what goes into the headlight and towards the gauges, because I'm waiting until my gauges come in to where I can do all that and then mount that. But everything else is sorted, cleaned up, as you saw earlier. And then we started mocking up the rear of it. And guys, I am a hack when it comes to this. You do what works for you. This works for me, meaning I stick it up there and then see what it looks like. I'm kind of a visual person, so I have to be able to see it, but that's kind of what we're going for. We're gonna have a little fender on the back. We're gonna make our seat. We'll go buy some foam today and some sheet metal for the pan, and then we'll get that, start shaping that up, start shaping the foam. And the only thing I have to do is fill this gap right here. I took the XS650 fender and bobbed it and rolled it up, right? Moved it where I wanted it. But you can see right here, it had where the mounting point was. And I didn't want to have that in it. So what I'm doing is just, I'm going to cut a little bit further back, then weld those together. And then have the fender continue mount here and then around. So it's not too bad. It's coming together. Then after we do that, then we'll pull everything off. We'll paint the frame, clean everything up, de-rust the things that we need to. But we're coming along pretty good. And I've got the front fender ready for paint. So I'll tell you why I decided on the design decision on why to go to black fenders and not chrome fenders. Well, I had one chrome fender and one black fender. It's easier and more affordable to paint the chrome fender black than to make the black fender chrome. So that's why we did it. Only chrome kind of accents will be on it will be the handlebars, the trim ring on the headlight, and then the wheels will polish up. You know, this guy will polish up, even though it's not, I know it's not chrome, but it'll polish up and look that way. Again, we're going with we're gonna end up painting the tank red, side covers red, tan seat is what our plan is. After I get this finished mocked up today and kind of where I like it, I'm gonna move my attention to getting rid of, I got just a little dent right here. I'm gonna see if I can PDR it so I don't have to do any body filler. And then we're gonna sand this thing down, prime it, and get it ready for paint. Tank is pretty straight. It just has a couple layers of paint on it that needs to be smoothed out a little bit. You can see when you look in here, this is pretty thick. It's just thick. It just needs to be sanded down just so I don't have any big dents in it like it has. And then it will be ready to go. Okay guys, so this was the piece that I bobbed that fender, and then we need to, I cut these pieces so that I can then weld in here, and we'll shape them to where they make sure they fit. But that's going to make a huge difference. Then I can adjust the length of it as I want. We're going to just grind them up a little bit so I can go back to weld it. We'll weld those up right there, and then we'll be good to go. Okay guys, so here is our now completed fender, rear fender. Again, we pieced those two pieces together. We cut out that section, slide this one up. So now this will be able to go all the way onto the bike, and you won't see that gap like we were seeing before. But guys, I'm not a welder. I did weld up these holes here. This is some rust that we're gonna have to put a little bit of body filler on that just to smooth that out, just because it's on the back. Just because I didn't want to keep grinding through to try to get that rust get any deeper into there, because I didn't want it to this metal's not that thick. So, but it's not too bad. Again, that'll work. Let's go see what it looks like. Okay, so here we are. We got bolts in right here just to mock it up. You see I have to trim a little bit more off of the bottom, a little bit more off the bottom here, but we're sitting in nice. Sits in nice. It's coming out, and then all I have to do now is make a tab, weld a tab here with a screw right there, just to really make sure that that rear fender doesn't go anywhere. So we're pretty good on mocking up. I just need to make a tab, and then I'll start. I gotta go get some metal to start doing the seat pan. That's it, guys. That's kind of where we are. I'm not an expert at this. I've got a welder that I got from Harbor Freight that I'm not afraid to use. I'm not good at it. That's why I won't show you welding, but I'm good at grinding. And I can paint over it, so it's perfect, right? So if you got something you need to do, just do it. I mean, what's the worst thing happen? You don't do it. Let's get to work. Let's get these projects going. Let me go get some sheet metal and we'll finish this one up. Okay guys, so I've got the side covers sanded, primed, drying. Hopefully we can get them dry and we can put some color on so we can see what it's going to look like. And then we've got to cut out the seat pan. This is where we spent most of our time, and I didn't film it because I'm not the best fabricator. Guys, let's be honest. I just keep looking at it until I like it, and then I cut it, then I see if it fits, and then I put it back together. I am definitely not a fabricator. I'm a guy that just cuts stuff and makes it work. Okay guys, here we are after a good day's work. We got the 1975 Moto Guzzi 850T looking way better. So let me start from the front, we'll work our way back. See, we put the Yamaha XS650 front fender on after we painted it. It's really nice. I think I may wet sand that and clear coat it. But the Yamaha XS650 headlight, we cleaned up the handlebars. We did all the wiring. Haven't done anything to the tank yet. That's tomorrow. And then we did most of our work on the back end over here. On the back end over here, we put the hoop in. We've got our other Yamaha XS650 fender, rear fender. I've got to sand it and paint it again. You see, we got the LED lights here. We built the seat pan. We even started putting some foam on the bottom. This just rough cut right now. We will go through and sand it and get it shaped a little bit better as we go through. And we're going to put some softer stuff on top. I think I'm going to get a yoga mat and put on top. What this is right here, I use the anti-fatigue mats from Harbor Freight. They give you a good base, and then you can put softer stuff on top. But they shape really well. I took and cut some spaces out in here because this stuff is really dense, and it just gives it a little bit more give once you put the other pad on top, so it'll make it a little bit better. We are going to shape this seat to where it comes here and swings up a little bit. So far, for a day, that's not too bad. We'll pick you guys up tomorrow. We should be getting the dent out of the tank tomorrow, and hopefully have it sanded and primed.
The next morning.
Okay guys, here we are. We put a nice coat of primer on it. Looks pretty good. This is the reason why I wanted to do it, because it really starts to highlight some of the spots I need to work on. Right, I need to sand this guy down. I don't know if you guys can see it. Yeah, there you go. Sand these guys down. And I'm gonna need to put a little body filler right on here. So I'm gonna run to the auto parts store and get me some. But the rest of it looks really, really good. Just a little, and I need to do a little bit more sanding back here, but that's really good. We'll sand it down again, sand this up a bit, and then we're gonna put a little body filler on here. Okay, let's go ahead and mix this stuff up. Again. So there you go, that's it. Then I'll get through and I'll sand it all off, and then I'll probably put some more on. Guys, like I said before, I'm not the best at it, and I only show it because if I can do it, anybody can do it. So if you've got stuff that needs to be done, just get it done. Just go ahead and do it. What's the worst thing happen? What's the worst thing happen? I got to sand it down and do it again. So I sand it down and do it again. At least you get a little bit better next time. You get a little bit better next time. So let's let this set up. We'll get back to sanding. I'll get back to you guys in just a moment. We went through and sanded all the body filler off. It was like doing a archaeological dig. You can see it's like rings of a tree. You can see everything that's happened to this tank over its life. It had some damage before. You can see it's probably right in here. And so, but we got it nice and smooth. Dent be gone. Looks pretty good. So, is it perfect? No. Did I do it in my driveway? Yes. That's all that matters, right? Okay, let me put some primer on this. Okay guys, let's get to finishing up this seat over here. We're using our high quality fitness mat because they're super soft. And I'm just gonna start layering it up, and then we're gonna use the knife and start shaping it. But I'm gonna put a couple layers on here, see what it looks like, and we'll go from there. Okay, so I've got my foam stuck to it. Now I'm just going to trim out the outs. I wanted it to rise up to the tank. So let me set you guys up. We'll start trimming this guy. Okay guys, this is our basic shape of it. And I think I'm a little too tall right here. I'm close. I wanted to use this line right here as the top of the front of the seat. That's why I wanted to run this up. Because if I just ran it flat, then I've got this line right here and then another line right here. So I want this to kind of come up a little bit. I think I may have to take this layer off or just shave it down a little bit, because we're almost there. And I think even when I stretch it, I think it'll fit right in. That's what I'm really trying to go for right there. But I think we're moving in the right direction with getting it in kind of the shape I'm looking for. If you look at it, it's hard to step back because the space is small, but if you see here, that's kind of what we're looking for, and that's why I really wanted to bring that front up. And plus it scales the tank a little bit more. If this is kind of, let me set you guys right here, maybe I can point to it. Maybe that's a little better angle. It scales the tank. If I do it just flat, this tank is so big that I need to bring the seat into it so it kind of shrinks it a little bit. So that's kind of what we're looking at doing. And I think this is going to be kind of a neat shape. It's getting there. Again, we got to shape out some of these things, and we'll put some other foam on top, some really light foam on top before we cover it. But I think we're getting there. I think the shape is getting there. Let me know in the comments below. I'm gonna end this video right here because I want to hear comments on what you guys think about the seat before I go on. I'm gonna, you know, kind of lean on you guys. And so please let me know what you think so far, kind of the progress we're making, what you think about the seat, what you would do a little different, because I'm in the shop by myself. I'd love to hear some ideas on what it looks like. Again, I'm not going for a cafe race or anything like that. It's trying to take the whole thing with this build is I'm trying to take the parts that I have to make a motorcycle that'll work. Again, stock bars, XS650 front fender and rear fender and headlight, and then making a seat. And a seat big enough for two people, right? Two people that like each other a lot. But let me know what you think about this seat. So, guys, there you have it. I want to thank you for watching yet another episode of Motorcycle Rewind. And hopefully next time we'll be putting color on this tank and the side covers, and it'll really start to be coming together. Guys, thanks again as always for watching yet another episode of Motorcycle Rewind. Do me a favor, like, tag, share, and follow us on Instagram at Motorcycle Rewind. And hit that subscribe button. Come on, guys, it's right there. Just tap it. If you hadn't, hit it. Do me a favor, subscribe. What's the worst thing happen? Subscribe. You can do it. I'm going to wait. I'm going to wait until you subscribe. Okay, guys, have a great day. I'll see you next time.